June 1944, the Allies storm Normandy, but Hitler's real weapon isn't tanks or planes. It's intelligence. If he finds the U.S. Army's weak spot, the war is lost. But America has a secret unit, 1,100 men who don't carry guns. They carry paintbrushes, speakers, and pure audacity. This is the story of the Ghost Army. The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops wasn't a normal unit. Its commander, Colonel Harry L. Reeder, handpicked artists, engineers, and actors. Men like Bill Blass, a young designer who'd later define American fashion. Here, he painted phony tank decals so convincing Nazi spies reported them as real. Radio expert Harold Dahl rigged 500-pound speakers to blast tank noises miles away. And Ellsworth Kelly, yes, the minimalist painter, played a fake general in occupied towns, leaving breadcrumbs for German informants. But if the Ghost Army had an artist's touch, they also had an artist's historian, Sergeant Victor Dowd. With a sketch pad in one hand and a radio in the other, he didn't just forge battle plans. He secretly recorded the unit's missions. If not for his drawings, their entire story might have been lost to classified files. March 1945. The real U.S. Ninth Army prepares to cross the Rhine, but the Ghost Army is sent to Viersen, Germany, to impersonate 30,000 soldiers with just 1,100 men. Sergeant Bob Tompkins and his team inflate hundreds of rubber tanks overnight. Corporal Arthur Shillstone sketches fake headquarters on farmhouse walls, and Private John Walker, a 19-year-old artist, stands in an open field, painting divisional insignias on signposts. If a German sniper shoots him, the ruse fails. But he does it anyway. For 7 days, they faked an entire army. Radio operators like Lieutenant Dick Syracuse sent scripted messages, fuel shortage, hold position, knowing the Nazis were listening. Sound trucks played recorded bridge-building noises to trick them into thinking the Rhine crossing was miles away. And it worked. Hitler's 15th Army diverted 30,000 troops to stop a ghost. But illusions have limits. Near Brest, France, Private George Peddle was killed by a Luftwaffe bomb, one of only 3 Ghost Army deaths. Others, like Jack Macy, a future Cold War exhibit designer, carried fake briefcases through enemy lines, knowing capture meant torture. And it wasn't just deception, it was survival. In September 1944, near Bettembourg, Luxembourg, the Ghost Army wasn't just playing tricks. They were the last line of defense. German forces were advancing fast, and the 1,100 men of the 23rd had to hold the line alone. No real weapons, no reinforcements, just rubber tanks, phony radio calls, and a handful of officers standing in plain sight, hoping to look important enough to stall the enemy. They held on just long enough for General Patton's real tanks to arrive. If they hadn't, the Ghost Army would have been wiped out, their secret buried with them. And then there was Metz, a mission so reckless it was nearly a suicide run. The Ghost Army was ordered to hold off the Germans for 7 straight days, while the real troops fell back to safety. That meant walking straight into the lion's den, putting on the performance of a lifetime, and praying the enemy believed it. Some men never made it out, but those who did knew one thing: their bluff had saved thousands. And after the war, silence. Classified for 50 years. No medals, no parades, just a handshake and a don't talk. Declassified in 1996, their missions saved an estimated 15,000 to 30,000 lives. Bill Blass never bragged about his war. Harold Dahl returned to radio repair, and John Walker, the kid who painted under sniper fire, died in 2008, barely mentioned in history books. But today, their fake tanks are in museums, their fake radio scripts are in archives, and their real courage, it's our responsibility to remember. Because history isn't just about battles, it's about the Bill Blasses who traded fashion sketches for tank stencils, the John Walkers who risked everything for a lie that saved lives, and the 1,100 ghosts who outsmarted an empire with nothing but imagination. Tell me their names. Stories like these don't spread themselves. They disappear unless we pass them on.